Greetings, all of the body will be Saeem, and hope all is well. Hope all is well. Peace and blessings to everyone. Hopefully you'll like, share, and subscribe to content, and you're more than welcome to comment. Let's get into this. So, some of you guys know me, some of you don't. Let me introduce myself a little bit. Of course, I said I'm Ola the Body Obi Saeem. I've been a spiritual practitioner ever since a kid. There's a lot of things that I learned about myself as a kid. There was a lot of challenges, of course, like many of us dealt with. And so I know that we all can relate in many different forms. And the objective is to share these things, these experiences, and also these evolutions so we can get in a better place for those who may be struggling. However, I have been through the struggle, and not saying that because I have overcome any struggles that I would not actually experience any more struggles or challenges. Trials and tribulations is at its peak. Rather, we prepare for it or not. And I want to pay homage to the Most High, also my ancestors or our ancestors, and also my higher self and all the efforts that I have obtained to get to the place where I am now. It's many things that can give gratitude, energy, spirits that we've been told to be spooked by, while you find these individuals actually connecting with these different entities and spirits, living a life that you question yourself, like, well, what about me and why not me? I mean, it's a lot to come with this. I would like to cover as much as possible. It's tremendously many different things to teach. However, we'll do what we can tonight. But however, let me finish introducing myself. Of course, I'm a chosen seed. I knew this as a kid. I knew there was something different about me. I also knew that becoming a spiritual teacher, many people who have met me have given me the title of preacher. Preacher is someone that preaches in the church. I do not preach in the church. They go through this process and so forth, so on. I have my reasons for that. I know it's not fully in line with the Most High, and I prefer to be fully in line with the Most High, so I do not follow anyone's traditions or doctrines, but I have discovered by studies and also observance and also being a great listener and also asking important questions according to those who have or is involved with those activities. However, but also being gifted to ask the Most High to give me answers, allow me to be more advanced than people expect based on their projections or what they're observing about me, as whether it's my presence or what I speak or what my belief. I'm more of a knower, and a knower is someone who knows what is truth. That's why there is a nickname called the Truth Teller. However, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share information, also to actually connect with you on every level that's possible. It doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your background, it doesn't matter what you have, don't have. I come with all purity and love. Being an empath can pick up on people's emotions and a situation. That's a blessing itself to help the challenge and the struggle with that. Why I don't do it as much, because people end up second guessing the truth and without actually finding out if it's truthful or if it'll work, because they either overthink, self-sabotage, or they allow someone else's opinion when they involve them to actually question what is going to actually help them in their circumstances and help them evolve. But it doesn't mean that I am closed off to helping others. But, my service and my time and my energy is just as important, just as well as people investing their time and energy towards me. So, that will come with a cost, and we can talk about that at some given point, and we can speak about that in private as well if you're not wanting anyone to know your business. But tonight's topic, we're just going to randomly talk about whatever spirit allowed my spirit to actually speak about, and we go from there. It's a lot of things that people have questioned about what they see and that only that you see it, you see that it's true, but you struggle to accept that truth. And again, some of this may be regurgitated, but not in the perspective of repeating itself, but actually extending of the conversation or the message prefer to be said. And if I didn't mention, which I know I didn't, I am a divine messenger, which means receive messages from the Most High. You know, I get a lot of feedback that I should not do these things, which is help people because people do not support me, which I get it, but just having passion for people, you still do your job no matter what. And this is why people try to figure out why the Most High keep continuously blessing me, because he know that people not worthy, they're not listening. They don't even listen to the Most High. They don't even listen to themselves. They don't even listen to the signs that give them the opportunity to change the outcome. The outcome can be any subject you can pick to make it simple. Anything that you can think of, just kind of throw a couple answers out there. It can be a bad relationship, job. It can be living condition. It can be health. It can be money. It can be a way of thinking. It can be an emotion that's actually hindered them from being able to receive the emotion that they need to be able to substitute for, so forth, so on. Just kind of throw some ideas in that'll keep your mind rolling. What I meant by that, I am a very intellectual person who can break things down, attention to detail, which is good to help other people to understand versus like, what is he talking about? The overall perspective of my presence is based off of healing, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and also clarity, not only about life, but also the relationship that you have with the Most High that's been neglected, that has a mediator, that some have good intentions, some don't. But even those who have good intentions still hinder those who actually can expand, because it's like this. Let's just say, hypothetically, myself, hanging around a bunch of bad people, but here it is, you know that I have good intentions. You've experienced this, you've seen the highlight of my life, whether it's books, stories, platforms, movies, and so forth, so on. But then you see this conclusion of me actually being around people who do not have that aspect. They have nothing but negative aspect. Going to jail, could be doing drugs, getting in fights, and et cetera, et cetera. But how would you look at me? Would you look at me in the same light is the question. So the point is, when I was saying about these individuals who have good intentions are connected to people who have bad intentions. So what that does, that makes them have bad intentions, because there will be things they will see or hear, or they choose not to see and hear or seek or to resolve, and that actually puts them in the same category. However, that also can put other people in the same category as well, even yourself. So that's what I meant when I speak of that. However, let's see. Well, one of the things that want to be spoken about is that there's a lot of people who struggle with envious and jealous relatives, and it could be on your job, neighborhood, and so forth, so on. What you have to do is spend time to yourself, which keeps you away from that, those situations. Person said, what if I have it within my house? Well, if you can't make amends, which makes peace with yourself and the person willing to respect your boundaries and peace, then you have to, go your separate ways and move on, because of course it's something that you're not seeking, or you're interested, or you're overwhelmed, not interested, excuse me, and you're overwhelmed by it. So therefore it's not allowing you to have the emotions and also the mindset that you actually have prayed for, or you have effortlessly, made in your life, and the progress and step by step, day by day, that you've been blessed to wake up to see another day. That's what I mean by that. And people who have these type of mindsets and behaviors are dealing with generation curses, habits. Sometimes they are over intoxicated in different things that they intake in the body that change the chemical balances, also in the mental state as well. You also have people who want to fit in, so they, easily influenced, but we won't blame the influences because everyone has free will to make a decision every day, whatever their decision is, which direction they're going to go. A lot of times we all have been at the crossroads. We all have made mistakes. Don't get me wrong. It's not knocking anyone. This is to encourage those individuals too, if they choose to be encouraged and make those steps to actually make that change that allow them to actually have a different and a better experience that they feel or they think that's impossible, which will allow them not to be jealous, envious, and betraying or betraying themselves, which is first betrayal before outside of themselves, which is others, because the karma doesn't deal with anyone but the person who actually deals with the negative side of karma. She doesn't miss. She doesn't have any favorite besides those who earn it, and she also balances out. No matter he, she, them, they, color, race, location, rich, middle class, poor, doesn't matter. And I'm grateful for that because a lot of us, if we were stuck with the things that we doing or have done in the past, man, you know, they talk about hell on earth. I mean, not hell on earth, but hell when you leave here. Man, can you ever imagine how detrimental it would be? A lot of times people feel like they're in hell now, but that's only because they haven't changed their ways. It's very important that I'm being told to tell you, you have to slowly but surely remove yourself from negative people. It's easy said than done. And the reason being because we have attachment, codependency, trauma bonding connections with people. And there's things that we like about them as well as we overlook the things that are negatively about them as well as those things that are negatively or trauma bonding and trauma and generation curses and bad habits and addictive patterns of our self-codependency and so forth, so on. In order to evolve and to really get the heritage that you deserve, you have to do the shadow work. And the shadow work is working on the dark things about yourself that you are ashamed of, maybe, or that you overlook or you oppress by actually, well, if you don't, I'm just use example. I'm not picking at women or men when I use these examples. So please don't take anything personal. If you do, then, much prayer to you. And may those pray for you to actually heal and fix that. Nobody tell me what to do. I do what I want. It's obvious that we all have free will. People don't have to be spicy, sassy, strong demeanor, or egotistic, arrogant, to make that clear. That's already natural. You need to be in a place where you can actually speak something that actually stands out versus just saying childish things. I feel that not only in a not opinionated person, but that's just going to allow those who want to say something crazy. But if you choose to do your thing, do your big one. About people pleasing and stuff like that. Shouldn't people please people because they never please if you're not seeing them actually pleasing themselves in their own life. That's just a great way of simplifying it, that you won't be able to please them no matter what situation you pick. Even yourself may even struggle with being satisfied with people trying to please you and so forth. So asking you how you doing, giving you compliments and so forth. So a lot of this stuff is overwhelming for a lot of people, and for me, you can't help but to see it, even though it's not my topics and energies. But those topics are very important to speak about because people really are not looking in the mirror. Rather, it's literally the mirror itself, or the mirror that other people are telling them or reflecting, or the consciousness, meaning the thoughts that you think about of your actions, and the temporary moment you know it's wrong, but you just justify like, man, I ain't changing, or I'm not changing for anybody. But then you want and expect all these different blessings. Blessings don't come with disobedience and um, lack of discipline and um, lack of morals and integrity. And whether you're a church goer or not, this is something that I know all the pastors have spoken upon on. Even when I used to go to church, or even a practitioner telling you, hey, your divination say you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. Or even your own higher self telling you do this or do that. Even your guardian angel telling you, hey, don't go that way, don't go this way, but go this way. Or don't do this or don't do that. Don't say this, don't say that. So people getting all the signs. You got not only the signs that people getting all the signs when you publicly see events that's happened to other people. And maybe people may not be thinking deeply, like maybe this could happen to me. It's not having fear. It's about having awareness. You want to have more awareness than you have fear. Fear won't resolve anything, but awareness will, because it'll give you the tools and the mindset to actually be able to navigate your life and also be at the right place at the right time, stay at the right place at the right time. You know, whether it's for dealing with relationships, jobs, location. That location can be traveling vehicles, it can be walking, it can be traveling, any form of fashion, any type of travel, as well as traveling with other people. Just kind of throw that out there. Or even interacting with people on the internet, whatever that internet interaction may be, you know, video, in person, what is this thing they call it? Give me a sec, I'm trying to think what they call it. I'll think of it in a second, I'll come back to it. But the thing about it is, this is just giving you an opportunity to actually hear some great information. And again, liking and subscribing actually supports the content, and everybody pretty much know, if they do not know, that people pay attention of what other people doing, because saying this in a way with respect, people follow what people do. So if you are not leading by example, if you're especially genuine, if you're a hater, still, you know what I'm saying, do it. Like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying. I'm not offended by people saying ignorant things, because I've dealt with enough of it, and there's no way around it, of course, unless you go stick your head in the ground like an ostrich, to kind of avoid it. But I'm built for it. I'm grateful for that. I have answers. I may not have all the answers, but I'm the type of person who know how to seek answers in many different forms, in many different ways. So I'm not a know-it-all. Some people may feel like that I come off as a know-it-all. I just know what I know. Wise person have a lot of knowledge, male and female. They're very giving and receiving to be able to obtain such. It makes me think about the Book of Solomon. There was people that loved Solomon based off his wisdom, because he was able to help people navigate, and the way that people returned the favor was, financially. They said kind words, and they did kind things. It makes me think about that, where people want that done for them, but they're not willing to give the equal exchange to others. You know how many times I met people say, oh, I don't know you, you're a stranger. But every person that you meet is a stranger, and the people you think you know has always remained as a stranger. Look how many events that has happened in a positive and negative way. I give two ways. One, they dated, they was together for a very long time, and all of a sudden, a traumatic situation happened. The wife kills the kids and kills the husband, or the husband kills the daughter of the wife just to make her mad, or family-wise. The sister knew that it was important for her to have a close relationship with her brother, but because of that, she actually stole from him, or she stabbed him, or she slandered and lied and set up many different events to um, defamation his life, you know what I'm saying, or to give this projection to others so the people will walk away. You know, there's just a couple examples of what I mean by that. Um, you know, growth and expansion is very important as God is allowing me to speak. It allows you to have more experiences. You won't be this stagnant lifestyle or a person being in one place for all their life when you have the world is tremendously huge to explore. You know, we have to understand very importantly, when you're favored by the Most High, no matter where you at in the world, you're protected, day or night. You know, it reminds me of Psalms 91. For those who don't know about Psalms 91, it's a great thing to actually put in your spiritual life, especially for prayer, praying against different evils and wickedness. It's good to read it twice if you can, morning time and before you go to bed. And just know that anything, as they say, any weapon formed against you shall not prosper. But also remember, when you're asking for prayer and protection, you must also guard everything with your whole life and also be aware. So therefore, you can add that prayer to be substantially sufficient and official because you're willing to take the accountability and responsibility of what you're praying for. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if you do money, like, well, you're asking for money, so you're telling the universe or whatever you believe in, the Most High or your higher self or just your thought or your commitment that you're willing to be responsible, you're willing to be, you know, manage your money, you're willing to learn how to make it grow, you're willing to also help others when you can, you're also willing to spoil yourself when you can, you're willing to stay, not even going to use humble, but you're willing to show good character and what it looks like for a person to have amount of money and materialistic things and where it would be or will be compared to others who have the same, if not more, that allows other people to have the opportunity to see what decision they're willing to make and so forth, so on in their life, which is best. You know, we use the yin and yang, the good, the evil, the positive, the negative. It's going to present itself. You just have to decide which side you want to be on. Also, the Most High want me to let it be known it's never too late. A lot of people think it's too late. Even if you have to deal with your karma to get to that place, the Most High is a merciful being and also graceful to our events or the things they call sin can be forgiven. You know, no one can dictate what the Most High will do and not do. Only by results and experience is the evidence of that truth. I want to make this long, so, you know, I know people have short attention span, but you can watch this in partials, you know, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 5 minutes here, or 10 minutes, and then say, okay, let me watch the rest. You know, I'm going to try to make it 15 minutes, which we're close to that now. But if there's things that you want to talk about, things that you're concerned about, you know, more than welcome, like I said, privately or, you know, comment and we get into it. But, all right, this is the last but least for now. Frequency, you know, a lot of people hear frequency, energy, and stuff like that. In order to vibrate highly, you must change your emotions, the people, the environment, things that you eat. Exercise is very important. You know, tell people to start off small so you can see the change. Don't criticize yourself when you overindulge because it's possible. Write a journal so you can keep awareness going on because, you know, our mind, we think, I think over 20,000 I know it's more than that, but over 20,000 thoughts. It can be a day per second, a minute, or hours, or something like that. We have a lot of thoughts that we think about, whether repeating itself or not. And then we listen to other thoughts, so that's included as well. Maybe the other thoughts of other people. And then some of us who are able to connect with our third eye, which is to the Most High, ancestors, positive or negative spiritual beings, or negative positive people, which is spiritual beings in a physical body, which I call it the avatar. That is included. Some of the things I speak, people have not spoken, or most of it anyway. And of course, I know there's people copycatting, and I will let the universe and the Most High and spiritual team take care of them. We'll talk a lot about ancestors. We'll talk about a lot about bloodlines on here. We're going to talk a lot about curses. We're going to talk about a lot of internal pros and cons and external pros and cons on every level that you can think of. We will be talking about how to get to that best place. I'm looking forward to starting a Patreon where people I know that's serious. It'll be like a monthly fee to join, and that allowed me to know that, not that I am capable of doing this. I know I'm built for this. I've been doing this for some years, or ever since birth, in many different ways. But the point is, it allowed me to know how my energy and time will be managed. I get a lot of views and stuff like that, but I don't know who's serious and who's not. And it may not be anyone serious, but I know that everything has a time limit on it, and that the Most High is going to put me in a place where people who genuinely want, assistance and help, come with your A game, come with the truth, throw all the baggage away, and also empty your cups, man. But blessings to all of the body over Sayin. Until next time. And make sure you like, share, and follow. And start doing your gratitude every day so you can see a transformation change. Peace and blessing. I'm out.